contact me directly, and I will give them the names of my specialists, and that they can get direct testimonials about the benefits of such arrangements. And specialists, this is how you create your own world. That's the strategy for specialists. I have a very bright periodontist near me who, when he heard about these programs, he became very proactive, and he shot out emails to every general dentist he knew and told them that if they decided to establish their own in-house programs, he would honor their discount. And so specialists, that's how you build your worlds. I want to emphasize, this is not concierge care for just the wealthy, but an affordable, prevention-based program for anyone. A simple in-house program that will fit any dental practice. You can start yours in about 30 more minutes after this webinar ends, but you will need one piece of very fancy equipment. And let me show you what that is. This is where you start. So put your front office to task from now on. Every patient that walks in the door, have them find out from the patient what their dental benefit is, who's paying for it, and how much it is. And what you're doing is you're doing your own marketing analysis within your own practice. So when you do roll out your programs, you know where all the low-hanging fruit are. Do insurance companies hate this? Dental insurance companies? You bet they do. Here in the state of Washington, we had an anonymous complaint by a practice that was offering an in-house program that we helped set up. And the anonymous complaint was based on, the complaint was that the dentist was giving discounts and offering insurance. And so with the help of the Washington State Dental Association, we went down and talked to the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and worked out an arrangement and a format that is specific just to Washington State law, but is compliant. Suffice it to say, they are legal in the state of Washington, as they are in most states. Washington dentists, if you're planning to set one of these up, please consult with the Washington State Dental Association website, and they'll give you the specifics in the format that you need to follow. But yes, they are legal in the state of Washington. In closing, my colleagues, our great profession is under siege. This crisis has fallen into our laps on our watch. It is time to put on our big boy pants and make some choices that really aren't that hard. When we help train office staff on their programs around the country, we can't emphasize enough for them to, 1, keep things simple. 2, be concierges and not salesmen. Provide information and let the math do the selling. The spreadsheet on these programs becomes your best friend. What you do when a patient needs a certain procedure, in the first column you write the retail price of those services. In the second column you write down what if they went out and bought an insurance policy, what the policy would cost, what the procedure would cost there. And then the third column you write down what the cost would be in your program. And almost inevitably, your program will be the cheapest. So let the math do the talking. If the patient gets wind that they are being sold a sales job, there goes their trust. So be concierges. Just provide information. And finally, never jeopardize the value of that trust that we have with patients. That is the gold of what we do, my colleagues, and something that not many outsiders will understand or ever get to feel. Your patient relationships are at stake, and trust is not an algorithm. I think you will agree, our trust is worth everything. Thank you again for allowing me to be here today. It's been an absolute thrill. If you need to get a hold of me, you can contact me at my website or in my office. And with that, I'll step off the soapbox and hand the virtual mic over to Dr. David Hamill of Kansas, who's with the ADA.
Thank you, David, and Roger, and also Greg for your presentations. Greg, you have so much truth to the dilemma that is facing dental offices today. But I also want to add to that, you're in Seattle, which is a city, but I'm in a small town America, rural Kansas, and just want to let people know that these kind of programs can work there as well. I began my own Healthy Mouth program after visiting with a few others and taking parts of theirs and adapting them to my practice. It's also under constant revision and trying to and attempting to keep it up to date and make it work as best possible. But we offer it as a financial arrangement option in a one-on-one setting in our practice, and also as an alternative to insurance plans. This is our piece of paper, and that constitutes the plan, the Healthy Mouth Program for our office. It is totally transparent and spells out quickly what is covered. And we also, at the bottom of the page, which isn't shown, we do have some responsibilities for patients in order to maintain their good standing with the plan. But why do we do it, I guess, is speaking to the dilemma that Greg brought up about costs versus reimbursements. But we do it for patients and for us. Patients, because it does give them value. It is much more affordable than a dental insurance plan. We have many around this area whose costs are well above the $600 mark, and they provide really very little benefit. And patients don't end up paying an extra 40% in order to feel like they have a plan that covers something. It's understandable and very simple for them to know what their benefit will be very quickly for patients. It applies to as much dental treatment as they want or need, and there are no waiting periods. For our office, we want it because it does give value or a sense of value to patients and leads to more accepted treatment, we think. It helps us focus our patients upon prevention, which is a cornerstone of our program. It helps us place an importance upon paying and attending their appointments, which is one of the responsibilities that we ask of patients. It simplifies administration at the business office level for our practice. There just is very little chasing the insurance claims because there is no insurance claim situation that arises from our Healthy Mouth Program. And it can give local businesses an alternative to an insurance plan. To give a little bit of a practical side of it, we do try to look at ways to track it as best we can. So what we do is when someone signs up for our program, we scan the document that they've signed into the record, and then we place an alert on their account. It pops up, the alert pops up each time we enter their record, and we can see that they are members of our Healthy Mouth Program and when they signed up. So we can bill accordingly and also remind them if they need to reconsider re-enrolling in the plan. This is unlike insurance plans where there are waiting periods and usually just over 50% of the people actually seek care. So with our office plan, since there is no waiting period, and these are people that are generally in your office and planning on receiving care, we do want to get paid the membership to the program up front. And as you're considering your plans, I want you to know that the ADA does have resources to help you. The ADA's Council on Dental Benefit Programs has created an in-office dental plan toolkit to assist dental offices in setting up their own plan for uninsured patients. The toolkit can be found at ada.org/dentalplan toolkit, and it's available to member dentists at no charge. It includes a list of states that have passed direct primary care agreement legislation, general contract provisions, plan checklist, marketing and promotional sample letter, and a dental plan calculator. And please remember to seek the advice of legal counsel, as Greg pointed out, for your own state. The ADA welcomes your comments on the toolkit. We monitor it and will update the kit as needed. Now I'm going to turn you back over to Dennis.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hamill, and thanks to the other presenters for a great presentation. Did you know that you can contact the American Dental Association when you have a concern with the dental benefit plan? In 2017, the ADA handled over 6,500 telephone and email inquiries regarding the CDT code and dental benefit issues. You can call us at 800-621-8099, or you can send an email for questions in the code to dentalcode@ada.org, or for dental benefits questions to dentalbenefits@ada.org. There is also an online third-party payer complaint form for those dental offices who wish to report a concern to the ADA but do not wish to speak to an individual staff member. And for further information on dental benefits and third-party issues, please visit our website at www.ada.org/dentalbenefits. We are now happy to answer any questions or address any concerns you may have. And I see we have quite a few questions in the queue, so let's get started. Well, the first one is just, is this presentation able to be printed out? So we are recording this presentation. It will be on the Center for Professional website, which is www.ada.org/dentalbenefits. Everybody that's listening today will be sent an email with a link to that website. Next question. Let's see. It says here, we're planning to create our own in-house plan versus using an outside vendor. In particular, we are looking for information regarding the legality of us running our own plan and areas to watch or any areas of concern to remain with legal bounds and to avoid problems. Dr. Yen, can you address that?
Yeah, sure. We actually had the problem in Washington State. The Insurance Commissioner's Office didn't like the whole idea of prepayments because the original format we had the patient paying the whole annual membership fee right up front. And they also didn't like the whole notion of paying for your discount. And so we actually had to reformat the way that we do the program, but it's still, in essence, the same, just like I listed. We actually had to change to kind of a buy one, get one format, where all the services initially, the first cleaning, the first exam, the bite wings, the patient actually pays retail on all that. And then in 6 months is where all their discount is loaded. And so in Washington, we had to change that a little bit. In many states, though, that hasn't been a problem. So my recommendation would be to invest in some time with a healthcare attorney. It's money well spent because this is the future of your practice. That money is worth it. And being a practice owner, hey, I'm as tight as all the rest of them, okay? But that is money very well spent.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Yen. The next question, and I think, Roger, I think I'll ask you this first. May the membership fees be paid with an FSA or HSA dollars?
Good question. In other words, are the contributions that they're making to the dental plan with the dental office, can they be taken out of the FSA, HSA, or HRA? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, at this point, this is not a premium that's being paid, but it is a payment for the cost of health care. And I think that those would be permissible withdrawals from these qualified spending accounts. For example, if I go to the dentist and I have a $500 bill and my dental plan pays $300 of that, I can pay the balance, the other $200 that the plan didn't pay. I can take that out of an FSA or an HSA. So I don't see any reason at this point, from my perspective, why the cost of the monthly or annual payment to the dentist would not be an allowable expense. But at the same time, I would suggest that someone speak with an ERISA attorney who deals with this type of thing.
Hey, Dennis. This is Dave Monahan, and just to reinforce what Martin was saying, it is permissible. We actually have a number of members who actually pay with FSA and HSA accounts.
Great, appreciate that. This is a question for you, Dave. And I know you can't get specific here, but what is the cost for an office or a patient to use your services?
Yeah, for our services, there's because we get this question a lot. There's no upfront fee. There's no standard sort of monthly fee or anything like that. It's just based on number of members on the platform who are paying a subscription. And actually, I don't mind being specific. We provide the information all the time, and roughly what it works out to be is about $4 per member per month, and that's it. And I saw some questions about what does the dentist sort of keep? They keep everything else. So that $4 just comes from the subscription, and then if somebody gets a filling or a crown or whatever, that goes straight to the dentist. No piece of that goes to us.
Oh, thanks. This question is for both of our doctors. We'll start with Dave Hamill first. What was the original reaction from your patients when you offered this type of program? Dr. Hamill?
Well, it was very receptive. When we first started it, we were bumbling. I'll be the first to admit. But we just decided to offer it as an option. There are some people that do not take the option as part of their treatment plan financial arrangements for various reasons. We have had patients that have had some kind of insurance coverage still take and sign up for a membership. Just when they realized that their insurance was going to cover so very little. So, but it's been a positive reception from our patients. So,
great. What about you, Dr. Yen?
Yes, it's been exceptionally positive. Patients still to this day, even as many years as we've had this program, they will thank you for having these programs and giving them an option because they realize the benefits as well. They will tell their friends because it is still kind of a novel concept to them. There is a popularity in that, and so and a novelty to that, and so they start telling their friends, and it becomes kind of its own referral vehicle, and so it works out really, really well. And yes, very incredibly positive.
Great. And another question for you, Dr. Yen. And I know we've talked about this as traditionally for patients that do not have a dental benefit plan, but may patients with a dental plan join a membership plan, or are these plans only limited to the folks without a dental benefit?
Right, yeah, that's a great question, one I get asked quite often. So with out-of-network plans, technically you can offer this, and the state of Washington actually, wants us to open it to them. The reality is that patients don't want over-complexity as well. But on those certain few that do, we do not file claims for our members. Okay, so if they have insurance and they want to join, and it's an out-of-network kind of arrangement, you just hand them the claim sheet and say, here, we'll give you the discounts and treat you just like a member. You do your own paperwork, and that's one of the reasons why we're offering this discount in these plans, because there is no paperwork. In regards to PPOs, most PPO arrangements we avoid just because they're so complex, and you just step into this quagmire of paperwork. And also, most of the discounts they're going to be getting on a PPO are greater than 15% anyway. I mean, if you know of any PPOs that just take 15% off your own fee schedule, please let me know. I'd love to sign up for one of those. But, most PPOs these days, 40, 50% below UCR. And so these programs are not for those people.
Go ahead.
Dennis, this is Roger. Can I add a couple points?
Certainly.
I think one of the big advantages to the patients and the dentist is that our society today lives on monthly budgets. People buy their television, their Netflix, their insurance, their membership, club dues. Everything is the core of their budget is on a monthly basis, and the membership plan really brings routine dental care down to a monthly expense that they can budget. There was an article just released, or a statement by the Federal Reserve Bank, that 40% of the people in the United States today cannot pay a $400 unexpected expense. They'd either have to sell something or go borrow the money to do it. And think of all the procedures and office visits that are in excess of $400 that they didn't anticipate. So it really is important that to emphasize this to the patient, that they now can look at their dental benefit as part of their monthly budget. And then finally, dental insurance plans nationally reimburse, these are group insurance plans, only 54% of all the dental charges that are submitted. There's exclusions, limitations, waiting periods, etc. So 45% of all expenses, even with a dental plan, are not reimbursed at all, and I think that makes a great fit for this membership plan.
Great, thanks. So here's a question for Dr. Hamill. Dr. Hamill, what happens if a patient moves halfway through the year? Is there a partial or total refund, or how does that work?
Well, actually, we don't run into that often, number one, but I'd have to say that as we present this, it is a membership plan, and it does last a year. We do have many people. Of course, I live in a small town, so I have a lot of people drive anyway. But we have many people that drive even a couple of hours to our practice. So they would just simply come back and finish out their preventive care or their restorative care, and so we wouldn't be refunding, or we haven't even had to consider refunding anything based upon the membership cost.
Dennis, Greg in here. May I add to that?
Sure.
So when we used to originally when we started out as a prepaid format, we actually would prorate whatever portion of care that they had not used if they were moving away, because in America today, people are moving around all the time. And one of the reasons is because you never want to create any ill will by saying, nope, sorry, it's, we're going to play big corporate here and we're not giving your money back. Because you never know when that patient might move back. And there are patients that have done that. So I'd be really careful using that as an absolute. I would frame it this way. What is your relationship with that patient and the potential of them coming back?
Hey Dennis, this is Dave Monty, and I can share some stats on that just to sort of round it out. So what we're seeing on our platform is refund-wise, it's about 1.5% of all patients request a refund, so very, very, very small. And we see, just like Greg was sort of describing, each practice handles it in their own way. And some will give a prorated piece back, some will give all of it back, and some will give none. It's sort of up to the practice. But I completely agree with Greg. It should be based on the relationship with the patient. There is one thing to note from a legal perspective. There's a federal law where if they have not used the plan in the first 30 days, you have to refund 100%. There's a number of laws like that. You just need to make sure you address and build into your plan.
Great. Here's another question for Roger. Roger, can you just give your contact information once again?
Yeah, I guess I moved too rapidly over that, but we'll put it back up on the screen here for the people that are still here. But my phone number is 404-401-3040, and my email address is roger.schultz, SCHULTZ, at simple, SIMPLE.US. And I hope that was sufficient for you. One other comment on this refund. Our plans are being set up on a monthly basis, so the patients make their contributions on a monthly basis, which fits into their monthly budget. So if they were to leave mid-year for whatever reason, die, move away, become disabled, we just stop making the monthly drafts.
Great. Here's a question for Dr. Yen, and kind of a long question here. Dr. Yen, at $412 per year, it sounds like patients are simply prepaying for the 2 cleanings on an annual basis. Then you discount your normal fee for procedures making less. For this to be profitable, are you counting on people paying and not doing 2 checkups, or have you inflated treatment prices?
Unintentionally, but if I am, please call me. No, so what we did is we added up, when we came across what our annual membership fee was going to be, what we did is we added up all the retail costs of the services that were included, which was more than $412, and then we knocked off a certain percentage. I think it was 28% or something like that, and that's how we came up with that number. And so that's how, if you're establishing a membership program in your own practice, that's how you do it. You take your retail, you add up all the services you're offering as a retail, and then figure out, what discount you want to give on that prevention. Most offices that we've encountered do anywhere from 20 to 30% for the prevention part, and then 15 to 20 is the general restorative and other services discount.
Great, thank you. Well, we're out of time to take any more questions. There are some unanswered questions, so what we will do is we'll compile those questions and we'll get either myself or one of the presenters to get back to you if your question wasn't answered, excuse me. And this does conclude our program for today. As the program ends, a short survey will pop up on your screen. We kindly ask that you provide your feedback, as your comments and input will help us deliver high-quality programs in the future. To receive your 1-hour CE verification letter from the American Dental Association, you will need to complete the survey. A reminder, an archived version of the webinar will be available. You will be sent an email directing you to the site. And thank you everyone for your participation today, and we hope you have a great day. Goodbye.